Hey guys, welcome back. Adam Flowers here, and today we have Wemette with us, as well as Joe Celozzi. So stick around; it's going to be a good show today. Mr. Wemette, how are you doing?
I am doing chipper.
Mr. Celozzi, it's nice to meet you. It's good to have you with us.
Adam,
Charlie
it's
Kirk.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I'm so excited. I couldn't sleep all night. I swear to God. I was excited. Up and down. Beautiful.
I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad we're here. And welcome in, everybody. Tim Perrone, Christina Morris is here. She's our moderator. Thank you so much, Christina. And we were gonna talk a lot of mob stuff today, and but I think that everybody would probably want to hear a little bit of thoughts about Charlie Kirk.
Absolutely.
So, what do you think, Joe? He's from Chicago, you said.
Yes. Let me tell you what. He was the ground up kind of guy going to all the college campuses, right? Getting the people that were going back and forth. He was a gentleman. He's civil. He was very civil. He got people's opinion. Just a real and a very knowledgeable guy. No dummy. Very intelligent. To hear what happened today, Adam, it just blows my mind because, as we talked about, it was against Trump too. It was shooting him was like getting Trump. I think, in my opinion, and I just think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. I put that with the same thing as any kind of assassination. When it comes to politics, it's horrible.
Now we as far as we know, he is still alive.
Yes,
what did you hear?
As we said, I was shocked because you saw the video where he got hit in the neck. The way Megyn Kelly was talking approximately 8 minutes ago, she was in tears and talking about we got to keep his legacy going. Oh yeah, and prayer. So it made it sound like just a few minutes that it was not good. For some reason, it was not good. And after looking at that video, it doesn't look good. The neck, I guess, right on the head.
The video shows. I mean, it looks like it hits right here. Probably on this side actually, and then you just see. I mean, you see blood just start to. According to Jared Sanders, they say he's no longer with us. So I don't know if that's true or not. But Red, we met. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say something. Charlie Kirk got on my radar, and I started looking back at him. And he actually went to Wheeling High School, which was about maybe 2 blocks away from when I lived in Prospect Heights. The high school you could walk to. It was on Hintz and Elmhurst Road. And he was kind of an auditor. He was a religious person. But what he did, I used to look at him, and he used to pick people out of an audience to change their mind and fight with them and get it on videotape. And some of the things that he took issue with, I looked at him and said, man, you better have a lot of bodyguards around you, because the truth of the matter is some of these high school or college kids, one of them's liable to pop your head off. And it just happened.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest here. It's interesting. Our first show, right? Our first show together, the three of us, I was so excited. And to have this, which is, okay, I think it's something we talked about. But it really, this situation really put something in my head over this. It really got to me. This is really deep. And I just think because...
Public, how many times does this happen? Every week, every day, every month? Yeah. We don't know the person.
I know, Red. But here,
because he was doing YouTube.
Oh, well, do I need bodyguards now?
Pardon?
Oh, do I need bodyguards? I mean, is it come to a point we gotta be careful what we say on?
Fights with college students, and if they're arguing about trans people, or they're arguing about gay people, or they're arguing about something, you turn around and make a quote from the Bible and show them where they're wrong, and you get everybody to applaud for you. you're making an ass out of a lot of different people. You may not like them, but you can't change them.
Well, I see where you're going with that, Red, and I appreciate your opinion on this. But let's think about it. Let's take it one step behind. Yes, you're right. But this guy, as far as his debating with people, he was pretty good, and he was a gentleman, and he wasn't as headstrong. Let's say even Donald Trump was probably was more in your face. He was pretty much. I see what you're trying to say. The subject matter that he said, yes, very, very so. Yes, you're right.
Audiences. He picked his own audiences. He picked college kids.
When you say pick them,
a microphone and invite them to step up, and then he take issue with the certain ones. And when he take issue with the certain ones, he'd have it on tape. They used to edit that thing. It wasn't live.
Yeah. And you know what? I called. I put a message into his camp about 6 months ago. I did call, and I was following him, and I wanted to see if he'd come on. I said, I'm starting a new podcast, or I brought him on yours or whatever. And I mentioned I never talked to him. I forgot the girl's name. And they got back to me, and then they said, are you the Celozzi son? Right away. That's your dad in the TV commercials in Chicago all those years? And I go, yeah. And of course they say that. What about me? And so I like it right away. Oh, is that your dad? And I said, yeah. And I go, look, the problem is I don't really have a platform. So I'm asking you to come on, but I just want to know if and when I start, and they say we'd get back to me. I never called them back but they did call me back on the first thing. But I had nothing to show them, really. I didn't have anything started. I probably had to call you two guys and hold you and try to bring them on. But I don't know. I just, you know what, Red? This is going to stick with me, Adam. This situation. Yes, Red. It happens. Don't get me wrong. And yes, he steps on controversy.
I just made a comment, and I want to respond to your comment, Scott H.
What do you say?
People get changed, but you don't just shoot people if you don't agree with them.
We don't. You and I don't. Maybe Scott doesn't, but there's nuts out there that do.
Okay, does that make him okay? Red, did you like the guy? Probably. Did you ever listen to him? Not really. Was he too much for you?
I listened to him quote scripture, and his ideals were in line with mine. His ideals were in line with mine. But his people, I looked at him and said, why are you going out and arguing with fools? I mean, you shouldn't go out and argue with fools. What do we do when we wind up with a fool on this channel?
Oh, yeah, we end up booting them. But, it's like you can't argue with an idiot because they'll bring you down to their level and they'll beat you with stupidity.
And that's what he beat them by turning their mics off. He would tell them what he wanted to say, but he turned their mic off.
Yeah, see, I just go ahead, Adam.
I don't.
The shame it happened. He was a good person, but what they say, he liked to quote the Bible. Never cast pearl among swine.
Yeah.
Never cast pearl among swine.
Yes.
I've never heard that one before.
Well, swine is a pig. Swine's a pig.
Never cast pearls among swine. In other words, if they're not worthy, don't bother. Don't bother.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I it would have been JW. It would have been nice to see Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk debate. Too sad.
Yeah. He was very popular. Red. He was very popular. He got into college campuses and he tapped into something that hasn't been done. He did. This guy was all around the United States at these Ivy League or whatever, and he really
a risk when he was doing it, unless he had a lot of bodyguards.
He had some. He did. He had a few, but
they did.
he did something. He did something that not many people have done, and he got a pulse on what's going on in today's. I mean, he got a feel. He did. That guy out there. I'm not saying I follow him every week, but that guy out there got a good feel of what's going on at these campuses, and he was right. And where these kids are getting the information, right? Where are they getting their ideals from? And what kind of families are they coming from? You get a good, after a while, you get a good idea what's going on in today with the young kids by listening to him and going around. I'm telling you, it was interesting. I learned a lot by watching him because he got bigger too. Adam, he got his places the last 6 or 7 months prior to this election, guys. He was filling them in at the place when he went. It was getting bigger and bigger. Yes, he had bodyguards for sure, but you really got an idea about woke, and you got an idea about this everything and what these young kids are thinking about, and it's horrible. There's a lot of all the misinformation and what they're hearing from their parents, right? And as we talked about, and Adam, you know this. Remember the big thing was go to college, pay the big money, right? Now outside of profession, a lawyer, doctor, whatever, you can get a big job. Come out of college, you got a big. That's over with. It's not happening anymore. You go spend all big money, and when you come out with a business degree or whatever, it's not guaranteed anymore like it used to be. And you got debt out of the ass.
It wasn't guaranteed years ago. I remember the 90s. I was saying too many kids are going to college, and when they get out, they're going to work at McDonald's.
All right.
That's true, but it was better.
If you go to college and you get a liberal arts degree, and but here's what's coming, guys. With the advent of AGI, artificial general intelligence, accounting, historians, math teachers, we're going to see unemployment at a rate we've never seen before because it's going to take so many of those jobs. The only jobs you're going to be like is a ditch digger. That's
true.
It's anything that you use a computer for, AI is going to be able to do it for you. You don't need an assistant. You don't need a secretary. You don't need
Maybe people will go get a job and learn. They'll go to vocational schools to learn how to become a mechanic. Maybe they'll learn how to do other things.
Here, listen. Here's the problem. Here's what I see.
Truck drivers. Maybe we'll get more truck drivers. We need them.
Well, those kind of jobs. Here's and Adam's got a point. You just tapped into something, Adam. The next 25 years, what's going to happen? And they were talking about this. I was watching not 60 Minutes, but one of them programs, and it's funny. Yeah, that's going to the days of having even doctors. They have robots now. You have the robots that do surgery. Look at
I can scan an MRI with my phone, and AI will tell me what's wrong with going on in there. So what do they need radiologists for? What do they need people to look at x-rays? They don't
train people to read them.
Yeah. Well, it's going to have to change. And you're right. With the way it's going now, just like the old days, you needed switchboard operators to answer phones, right? Now it's all audix, right? You needed this. Those days are gone, right? You don't need those kind of people. Now, look, people working from their home. You get somebody from the Philippines. Hell, I call T-Mobile if I can say anything, and they're they love you. Oh, you're the best. We want your business, and they're at their home. And some trained and look at that.
Joe, you mentioned something here.
Yeah.
Telephone. We got rid of the operators that used to pull the plugs and everything. But how many men did we hire to repair the machines? How many linemen are out there fixing the lines?
Well, that's true. I mean, there are other jobs that'll be created. For instance, we're going to need coders and programmers to help program and whatnot. But quick update, guys. On the
maintain it. Don't tell me work forever.
Quick update. Did they capture the shooter? According to JW, the shooter is still on the run. They said the old guy they arrested at the scene is not the shooter. And Scott H. said he's a voice of reason in a sea of evil. It's said in the Bible that if you follow Christ, you'll be persecuted. So, I mean, no, it's and Scott H.
said he was persecuted for following Christ. I think he was persecuted by you don't go out and wave a red flag in front of a bull, and that's what he was doing.
Red, have some compassion.
I know.
Red, you're like Red. I didn't know this side of you. I thought you were like, where did this come from? Is it all the wise guys hanging with the wise guys all those years or what?
If I was out doing things, I had somebody ask me a question recently. Several times it's been asked to me. Are you afraid to go out in public? Are you afraid to go out and sign books? No, I'm not afraid, but I'm cautious. Adam, was I cautious out west by you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. I got to be honest with you, like, because I put myself out here, okay? And then I've been putting myself out here for 5 years now. And people know what I do. People know what I do. All you have to do is go to the website and look up what times he got a tour. I know where he's going to be at that time.
That's
you know,
right.
look at the YouTuber that got shot out in front of the Bellagio fountains. You know, so yeah, when I'm sitting around, I'm very, very alert about my surroundings. You know, and if I feel like something's, but I don't think I would be a target. But then again, look at what we talk about sometimes, where people go, "Well, I know what his viewpoint is, and I disagree with it."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for the guy, I do feel bad for him. He was a good person. He was doing something that was good. But the truth of the matter is, he was waving that red flag too much, and you can't do that because there's crazies out there that will hurt you.
Well, look at Elon Musk. Look at what they did to his with Tesla, blowing up dealerships, cars. Come on, same difference, right? There's a bounty on his head. He need more bodyguards. So there you go. It's basically the same thing. You don't see him out. You know what? It's come to a point now you can't even give a speech anymore. You're right. He's at a place giving a speech, and everybody in the crowd looked like they were all calm. This wasn't a rock concert. You know, people were screaming. It wasn't like, you know, for that to happen. I mean, look, the atmosphere looked calm, but that doesn't mean anything, you know. And I just
somebody who has it in for you will move in. Maybe they laid on this guy, Charlie. Maybe they laid on him 8-9 times and didn't fire a shot. But maybe they've been following him.
Listen, there's weirdo people out there. There's people who are nuts. Adam, there was a guy at Cook County Mental Hospital who thought he was Nick Celozzi. That's true. He'd walk around with a jacket on, and we always save more money. We always say, and go around. And they called my dad on the phone. Said, Mr. Celozzi, I know it's a little weird, but there's a guy we have here who's been here for, I think, a year or whatever. And he says he's you. My dad goes, what do you mean he says he's me? Well, he obviously sees commercials, and something happened where you got consumed with it. And he says, I'm Nick Celozzi, York and Roosevelt Roads. We always save more money. And would you come out here and meet him? My dad said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know,
why would you want to go meet that guy?
Yeah, right. First of all, what is that going to do? My dad said, first he thought it was a prank call. He didn't believe it, my dad. Didn't believe it. But that's just touching what weirdos think, you know. We had a guy calling the dealership. This is true, where the FBI got involved and said that some weirdo, it was over a 6-month period, said we owed him money and $5,000, $50,000. It looked almost like you've been watching those. Must be a wannabe wise guy or something. And he thought he was collecting money. And we caught the guy. He was from Bellwood at a hot dog stand, and nobody knew him. And he thought he was. Yeah, it was weird. So what I'm trying to say is, there's fucked up people, right? That, you know, like just bad. And I lived in that bubble for a long time. By being on TV all the time, people feel they know you. And just the perception of you, you know, I don't know, Adam, I always said this. I got too much credit when I shouldn't have, and too much negative when I shouldn't have. You know, there's no reality. And people talk, and they talk. And I can understand how people get in their minds, you know, where they feel like, oh, well, Charlie Kirk, gotta get rid of him. Like, well, shooting him does what? Whoever shot him. Was that against Trump? Was it against policy? Was it against?
Yeah, it was against the whole idea that
he was like Charlie Kirk, right? Yeah. Or he just like, I mean, who's next? What that's going to do, Adam?
They're trying to do is anybody shows that kind of incentive, they're next.
Well, yeah, with that, go ahead.
You got crazies, okay? You got crazies that have vendettas. By the way, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. I almost forgot to tell you that. Hit the subscribe button. This over here is Wemette. This down here is Joe Celozzi, and that's the Celozzi you guys are thinking of. Yes, his father was Sociopaths Chevrolet, Nick Celozzi.
Where you always save more money.
We always save more money. So we're going to be talking mob today, but we're talking about what just happened here with Charlie Kirk. And if you guys want to chime in the comments, feel free to do that. We are reading them and we are putting them up there. A little off topic, but there's crazies out there. Look at the dude that just murdered the girl in the train in Charlotte. Scott H just for that. They're nuts, and that guy had no reason. No reason. It wasn't like the girl was doing something that was waving the flag at the bull. She was just sitting there.
Right. They talk about wise guys. Look at this. This is worse than wise guys. They talk about behavior and this and that. This is worse than a wise. Would a wise guy do that? No.
Wise guys used to say, we don't want to deal with nuts because they're uncomfortable.
Well, they had that one wise guy in New York, right? For the Italian American. He was remember he went to those Italian American conventions. Remember, what was his name? And he started supporting back in the 70s. The famous Italian guy out there, he got killed. He got shot. Actually, got shot too. And he was for the union, the Italian American, whatever it was. And he was a wise guy, but he said he was a businessman. I forgot the guy's name.
Was shot also
in Vegas.
No, I'm sorry, New York.
In New York.
It's the famous guy, and he was
Joe Colombo.
That's it. Oh wow, who's that? Northside Drive. Okay, Joe Colombo, right? So it just shows you, things have changed. Adam, we got to get the wise guys back. Let's have a convention, and we'll give put a little ad out looking for wise guys. We're trying to get the group back together. How bad is that? That's funny.
Ultra Cowboy, they just turned Charlie into the next MLK. Well, he was doing. Martin Luther King was doing very similar, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's right.
Talking about love and talking about come together and talking about I have a dream, and then they fucking shot him.
But what happened was he was shot by a racist. But what happened in his case was he was saying his dream was so that all children would be together. The color made no difference.
Right.
His dream
race, religion, right.
His children would play with children of another race, and we wouldn't have racial division. His dream never came through. True.
You guys both lived through that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. So when I grew up in let's see here. Yeah, I started kindergarten 6 years old in 1982.
Wow.
83. Okay.
You're young.
I'm 48 right now.
Jeez.
Going to make it to 49. We'll see.
I could be your dad. I could be your dad right now.
Joe,
how old are you?
64.
Okay. Yeah. You all damn near. Yeah. You could.
Yeah.
If you were, you'd be 16 when you'd have me. But yeah.
Yeah.
So when I grew up, I went to Dalton, St. Paul Lutheran School, and I was in a class. There was about 12 of us. And about half the class was white and half the class was black. And we might have had one Hispanic. Okay. But that's what they told us in school. They were like, oh, you're all children of God and you guys should all play together. So I experienced that. I didn't grow up where, these drinking fountains are for these people and these bathrooms are for I didn't have that. I just, so I don't know. Did it come true, Red? Maybe it did. I don't know. But there's still a ton of discrimination, and I am not going to lie about it. And I think it's on both sides, and I think it's in different directions. You go down to Mexico, they discriminate against the Mayans. Those are the shit. Go to Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Mexicans don't like the Indians, don't like the Native Americans. Sorry. So
last night, Adam, you and I were talking. When I was in the Marine Corps, everybody was one color. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I saw people divided. And it wasn't white people that were divided amongst black people as much as black people that didn't like white people. They didn't want to be equal. They weren't asking for equal rights. They wanted privilege rights. And that wasn't working out. It never worked out. What happened? Street gangs, things that disrupted my life. And as a result, maybe I have what some people might call a prejudice, but it's not against skin color. It's the way you grew up, the way you treat other people.
Hey, Royal. Nice to see you. We're talking about Charlie. I'm sure you saw the video, Roy. Terrible. Just horrible.
This guy said, I put it up. What's this guy here? What's he saying here?
MMN, if you think one safe place in the U.S., you'd probably say Utah. Then again, maybe Mormons have something against him for saying Joseph Smith was a con man.
Mormons speak out against violence. Totally.
Yeah.
I don't remember one Mormon incident where they assassinated anybody. As a matter of fact, most of them are conscientious objectors, even in the military.
Well, it's interesting.
The most misunderstood group of people in the world.
Like the Italians. In a way. Nobody talks about that. I tell people, we grew up with the racism against Italians, look at the Guineas. They call us Guineas, Dagos. I told you.
Inside the Italian community, there's a lot of people that don't like Sicilian people.
That's true. Well, that's right. The Sicilian Italians, you know this, Adam. When you're Italian, you go to the fest, they'll say, I'm Sicilian, not Italian on their jacket. I'm Italian, not Sicilian. It's people don't understand that because coming from our culture, my mother was 100% Sicilian. Well, different language, food's different. My dad's Albanian Italian. So if you think about it, that's a different. When the Moors took over that country, Sicily, they brought a lot of their influence, black in there. That's why they called Sicilians blackies. They're dark with the curly hair. Where
were the Moors from?
Africa.
Oh, Africa. That's right.
Okay.
Yep, they're dark.
They invaded Sicily.
That's right.
The first time I heard that was when Red played me a clip, Christopher Walken in a movie. And
True Romance.
True Romance. Yeah, where he goes off on what's his name? He was in Speed. What's his name?
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves.
I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I can't right now.
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. No.
Dennis Hopper goes off
Hopper.
On
Hopper. Yeah. That's right. Well, listen. You talk about, look at, I don't want to talk about racism. We're going to, but let's talk about the Italians. That's how mob started, Adam, from the Moors when they protect their own people. That's when it started against the Moors, the Sicilians, and that's where it became where they paid them and they took care of their own people. And then when the Moors left, they still taxed their own people. it still stayed the same.
But it was a ruling society. In the beginning, it was a ruling society.
Okay.
There was a prince. There was a king of Italy.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Well, that was after, that's right. But back then it was separate. And then when the Moors left, it became Italy, right? Red? Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think they got annexed. It was always an island,
Right. And remember, Africa's right across. You can swim to Africa. It's not far. You know that. I can do a backflip, Adam. Get right over there. It's that close.
Yeah. Ryan Brown says he was just in a live stream with Francis on his channel, and someone left a comment, "Die, Charlie, die." Michael ripped into him. How can anyone praise the death of a man who left behind a wife and kids?
Yeah, that's
horrible. That's terrible.
Well, it's sad that we had to start our first show like this. I wanted to be excited. I mean, it's interesting, but it's sort of like, it has to be addressed, Adam. I know this is we all have a different platform, but you know what? It's sad because if he's dead, which I'm assuming he is, this is horrible. It's horrible. I got to get my fedora and get over there.
You just put this up here. Your grandparents, he says his grandparents. My grandfather used to have, there were signs up everywhere in Chicago, and it said, Irish need not apply. So what do? They became police officers, public servants.
Hmm.
And it happened to a lot of Italian people too. There were signs up that said, no Italians.
They had all the jobs, though. The Irish had the job, police. They had all the politicians. They had it. My dad said they would tell you, hey,
dirty job.
go get a bricklaying job.
Whatever the dirty jobs were, they took.
That's right. Go be a landscaper. That's what, I told you, my dad went business in Elmhurst. Adam, he was at the YMCA working out with Maury, like the first month of business, and a doctor was there. My dad had becoming friends with the doctor, and they're talking. He says, "Oh, you're the two gentlemen that bought the Chevy dealership down the street." He goes, "Yeah, it was that black Chevrolet, right? 1968." He goes, "Can I ask you a question?" My dad goes, "Sure." He goes, "You're not one of them, are you?" My dad said, "What? You're not one of them." He goes, "No." He said, but the first thing he asked him, this was Elmhurst, which is WASP. A lot of German, back, German, Scottish, English, this Elmhurst, a lot of people that came over in the late 1800s. But that's what they asked my dad. They saw an Italian name on the sign, and right away, oh, you have to be corrupt to get your name on a sign, right, Adam? That's horrible. My dad was sort of a little bit shocked, the fact that, he would ask him that. They ended up being great friends through the years, but that was it. They asked him in the 60s, you're not one of them. I said,
everybody was cautious. Back in those days, you didn't flock with anybody.
He's dead.
He's dead. Wow. Oh my God.
31. 31.
Oh, wow. It's a shame because, being tagged with like you say, Red, this guy, Charlie, obviously he's tagged in a way, whoever did that, he's got his viewpoints and his everything. He got put in an area, right? Who he is, right? The Trumpster or whatever he is. And now they labeled him, and this fool, this weak guy, whoever, got to take him out.
I think whoever it was mentally ill. I don't think they were. When we get to the bottom of this, if we get to the bottom of it, we're going to find somebody that's mentally ill, because nobody in their right mind would go out and just kill somebody like this because they disagreed with them.
Well, they say most hitmen are mentally ill.
Yeah, I used to hear about Schweiss all the time. People say he was mentally ill. He wasn't mentally ill. He just didn't have any feelings about killing people.
Sam Giancana, they said he was a psychopath. They said he was out of his mind. And I don't know if that's true, but obviously he had a terrible temper. That was a fact. And the FBI said they had him on tape when they were doing surveillance. They said it was crazy. He would get so upset, so crazy. It was like,
well, not only that, he used to howl at the moon. He'd go, whoa! But he was joking around. He was young. He was only like 23.
Yeah. My dad said he was a nice guy when he sat with him. He went there for Christmas, and you know the deal, Adam. He came to my dad's wedding, and he came. This 1957. The average boost back then, Adam, was what, $5, $10 maybe, wedding gift back then. My dad said maybe $15. Gas was 6 cents. Movie theaters were 10 cents. He gave $1,000, and each one of his cronies gave 100. A lot of money back. Yeah. And then he had one of his friends follow him home with the in the car. Yeah, I guess somebody got in the car, somebody followed him, and he went before their honeymoon and walked them to the door. My dad didn't even know who the guy was. You have a nice honeymoon. And that was it. And his brother Pepe did the wine, the liquor. He had a little cart and poured his liquor there. He didn't go to get the liquor from the place. He actually had his own. You don't trust anybody, right? I'd imagine. And so I said, that's pretty good. They got married at the social club. They got the printing here, the flowers here. Everything was to somebody he knew, which probably got a great deal. So there you go. Now, he was a psychopath. I read Adam.
Yeah, they killed Charlie Kirk. Yeah, Dan Vajanovich. I don't even know if I said that name right. Vanovich? Probably Vanovich. Yes, that's what we were talking about. That's what we opened the show with. And Mobster Chronicles. Hey, Red fellas. on a job site now, but I wanted to show my support and voice my anger over Charlie Kirk. It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. And it's a sociopath. You know, somebody who has absolutely no feelings, doesn't understand empathy, doesn't understand sympathy, can't process those feelings. And those people exist.
Maybe you thought that was me, that I was being too hard when I said what I said. I have all the sympathy in the world for this guy. But the truth of the matter is, you don't wave a flag in front of a bull.
But I don't think he was. But Red, I understand what you're saying. But he wasn't taking a position. Like, you know what I mean?
He knew what he was doing. When you go out and you set up a microphone and a podium, and you
I see what you mean. All right. Yeah, okay. I get that.
So Charlie,
reaction.
a lot of the debates that I saw with him, he would debate trans people.
That's right.
Do you think that the shooter is a trans person?
No.
In question. Well, you know what?
There's too much emphasis in the news today about trans people. What do they make up as a minority in the United States? What percentage are trans people?
Well, yeah, but you're right. But that's what we're saying, Red. We're saying is that a lot of these guys have the trans thing. Yeah, that I like to find out. That's a very good. That's a great. Yeah,
I mean, when they catch the person, I mean, we're going to find out. But hey, Mom,
I like this.
Doing?
Your mother, yes. Hello.
Yeah, wonderful guest. Great show, guys. Mom likes you.
Wow. Listen, I don't. What's going to happen now? All these different events that they're going to have at these campuses, wherever. It's going to be hard to get into. They're going to police it like the airport. It's going to come to that point now. To come to the point, if you go to one of these places, you're going to be first down. I'm not saying that's going to help, but this is what we come to. This is what's happening. He was to get killed. There's nobody get killed. He wasn't running.
I want to tell you something. I'll tell you too. A friend of mine called me last night, and he said something. His son said something that he shouldn't have said. And the first thing he told me, Adam, is almost along your line. He said, "Well, my son doesn't fit the profile. He's not a trans person." So everybody believes that it's all on trans people.
I'm just
a trans person.
No, Red. No, I don't think Adam meant that. I don't think he meant that. I think it used to be. Well, I don't want to start comparing it to certain things. It's a percentage. There's an exception to every rule. But I think you're right. Mentally ill, that's a fact. You know, that's probably true, obviously.
Percentage-wise, how many people that are gay? Now you divide gay up into trans because it's an offshoot of trans people.
Well, that one guy did a survey. I forgot his name. That he says that most men, if they think about getting banged, and heterosexual men 10 times a day straight. I don't know if that's true. That the average man has thoughts of homosexuality at times. I don't know. That's crazy.
I
look in the mirror naked. I get scared, Adam. Well, that doesn't anything for me. I swear to God. I look in the mirror. I start jumping up and down because that doesn't do anything for me. It's actually frightening. Okay, so I don't want that. Okay, I want the opposite. So that theory about
you don't want big old hairy ass.
No.
Unfortunately for me, I'm laughing when I say this. I have never fantasized about having sex with a man. If I had, I would have done it. And if I liked it, I would have kept on doing it. Same reason I've never taken dope. If I like it, I'd be doing it.
Well, you're right. But let's be honest. The thing about it is they're saying that at the beginning of our life, when we first created, that there was, we didn't know. I mean, everybody's banging everything, I guess. So I don't know if there was a thought process, who knows? I mean,
it's the greatest procreation.
Is sexuality, is that a mental? I mean, if a guy's gay, does that mean he's mentally ill?
Up until 1973, it was classified as a mental illness.
That's true.
I never believed it was. I believed it was a choice because we all have a choice. Now, if you're attracted to somebody else, there could be a reason why, but that's still your choice. Just like Joe said, his choice is not to think about men having sex.
Well, that one wise guy, I'm not gonna mention his name, in the 50s, a big collector. He was getting he would go down to we talked about this, and I heard right from the horse's mouth, a couple of the guys, that the dudes used in the 50s would go to on the north side. These are Italians, wise guys, and get knobbers from the transvestites. Yeah, that's true. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
I saw a lot of that.
Dude, who was it that walked out of your place or next door to your place, the wise guy, and said, well, mouth's a mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was Peanuts.
It was Peanuts, right? Peanuts.
Yeah.
Ellen B put a comment. I'll advise everyone not to watch the video of Charlie Kirk getting shot. It's extremely disturbing, and I wish I did not view this. Imagine Kennedy, but in HD at 10 feet away. Graphic, sick, and sad. And Alan, I agree with you. I wish I didn't watch it too, man. I saw it from really far away, and then my buddy sent me one that was, like you're saying, 10 feet, and I went, holy Christ.
Is that the one you showed me, Adam? That's the one you showed me. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, after watching that video. Yeah, thanks. I love you too. Yeah. Adam goes, you got to watch that. Why? What is that? I go, oh, no. Yeah, that won't be the same anymore. No, I didn't see it too good, thank God. But that's horrible. But get back to that. Who told me? Ayupa's guy told me that one of the bosses in the late '60s was gay, was bisexual. He had a lover, and the guy's name was Vic, the lover, and he had a guy in an apartment downtown. True, he was bisexual. The guy was married.
Was Fifi Laporte?
Yeah. Oh, you knew that, didn't you? I don't want to say names. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He knows. His fucking red nose, or Adam. I hate to say it. He knows his little shit. He knows his certain things. I listen to him talk. He knows. You do.
There were people that said, and it was even in the newspaper, but there were people that said that he used to get drunk and have his men hold him down while they had somebody come in and have sex with him.
This is turning dark. This is turning dark. Guys, hit the like button.
Adam. And then in Sopranos, the series, Sopranos, they showed a guy, but said they had the big heavyset guy as a hitman. He was bisexual. They put that character in there. So there's a reason for that, So there you go. I mean, I always say this, like, well, look at that one guy, Action Jackson. They killed him. He was friends with Ayupa's guy. The guy was one of the biggest collectors in the city, money, but he made the guy owed him money, wouldn't pay. And I guess he begged his sister. He raped the guy's sister in front of him because he didn't pay him. That's a fact. Well, they got so mad. The old man, they hung the guy downstairs in Cicero in a basement and tortured him for 3 days for doing that. Yeah.
There are more sexual perversions involved.
Action Jackson.
With lack of education. The lack of education. Look at these people, how educated they are. But if you look at their education and the sexual perversions, they're pretty close.
Well, it's like serial killers. What do they say about most of them are gay, bisexual? A lot of the serial killers were bisexual. Majority of them. Why? Why is that?
Ted Bundy was.
No, but I'm saying percentage-wise. Out of 10, 7 out of 10 maybe. I'm just saying the history of it, Does that
Joe, I disagree with you. My whole thing is if we didn't clutter to watch or listen to the news about these people because they were an odyssey. Yeah. John Wayne Gacy, he was an odyssey. He wasn't the average run of the norm. What's his name? Was just as bad. The guy who killed the nurses, Richard Speck.
Yeah.
It was just bad. I mean, they're all bad people, but it's that we put up there and say, well, look at this, look at that, look at this. Yeah. I believe that John Wayne Gacy was crazy. He was totally insane.
Yeah, he said alcohol and drugs. He said when he smoked marijuana and drank is when he became an animal. That's what he says,
And that only amplifies what you are. If you're an asshole before you smoke, you're going to be an asshole. That's high.
My brother did a movie on him back about 25 years ago. He got the detective, and he was going to do. They did it already. the movie on it, but he was he had some pre-production about doing the movie on Gacy. I guess they knocked his house down and put a park there, and I guess on the back of the fence it says there's 3 6s. It says go back to hell. Somebody spray painted it on the fence. I guess where his house, they put like a little kids thing there, a little, I don't know, merry-go-round, whatever, park bench, supposedly.
They rebuilt the house on that spot. There's a new house there.
Oh, they did.
2020, Art Kelly and I went there. Well, I'll pull a video up. Do you want to see it? What it looks like?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we went there, and there were. Well, you'll see in this video. There were bullet holes.
A broken window. Nobody's living in the house, so that's common in Chicago.
Well, there's one. Yeah.
This is in Harwood Heights, anyway.
Was it part? I don't remember which part it was in. Let me scan this. Hopefully I can find it quickly.
I'm really sad about Charlie Kirk, but I'm sad when anybody gets murdered for no reason. It's wrong.
For everybody. I mean, like that. I mean, this guy, it's still bad. But not like the guy that murdered the guy from the insurance company. He did it outside, coming up from his house, walking from his car. This was done in front of 10 million, the world. Was the guy trying to make a statement?
Yeah.
Wait, the guy got away, didn't he? Did they catch the guy yet?
Oh, I think they will.
Yeah.
You can't go today. That's what I was telling Adam and other people. You can't go anywhere today without getting caught on a camera. There's
That's true.
On street corners, wherever you go, there's a camera. And if he was on campus, there's a camera.
I wonder what Trump thinks right now. I wonder what Trump.
I heard he lowered the flags to half-mast in honor of.
Probably saying, "Oh my God, how could this happen?"
That's against him. It's against Trump in the back. In the end, it's against him. I think.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. What, Red?
Somebody want to read it?
Wait, it was a pastor from Texas named Kenneth Fishman who killed Charlie Kirk. Discord is saying it was a gay pastor from Texas named Kenneth. I don't understand. Who's Kenneth Fishman?
This went across X. He's been making comments here. It's from X.
Oh, he sounds gay. I mean, Jewish.
This guy is not gay.
No.
But he says it's a gay man that shot him.
Oh.
Okay, guys, I found it.
Okay. Let's get back.
All right. Number 91. And share the audio. Let me make sure the audio's up. And here we go. All right, guys. So this is John Wayne Gacy's, what used to be John Wayne Gacy's property. They built a new house, and the address is a little different.
It looks like a sandwich.
Yeah,
it is.
Adam, I like that haircut, Adam. You got. Look like you be a road.
It's called Summerdale. Guess where we're going? Where are we going?
John Wayne Gacy's death house. The killer clown. Pogo, the killer clown.
Let's go.
Sick maniac. 33 young boys.
He killed 33.
That's it right there. That's it.
There it is, and it's for sale.
And there's bullet holes
Look at
in the
this.
glass. People are not loving this.
Look at this.
Let's get out.
That's the original house right there.
Yeah. The original house is not there, right? It's been redone.
No. Yeah. Long time.
Grammarly is great for
Oh,
when
you
you're
gotta be
working on
kidding me.
projects, writing emails, or work messages. I always use Grammarly for that.
Where?
Every night on the news, I see that house.
Yeah, there's bullet holes in the window.
That's crazy.
Yeah. People
People are shooting at it.
Yeah.
Wow. I never knew that, Adam.
Want to buy John Wayne Gacy's house? So John Wayne Gacy used to dress like Pogo the Clown.
They called the police. Well, they didn't call the police for those 33 young boys.
Jesus.
Where's the cross? Maybe we could.
So he dressed as Pogo the Clown.
Right.
And then he.
Now, see,
Crazy.
that's an attached garage. The garage was in the alley. He didn't have an attached garage on the original house.
Hey, I bought a letter from him. A letter from him and Manson. Because I used to collect. I had bought it because my guy has all these autographs, sells that stuff. This is about 30 years ago, and I bought a 3-page letter that Manson sent to his girl, original, and Gacy a letter to somebody. And at the time, I paid, I don't know, maybe $1,000 for both, and I gave it to my ex-mother-in-law for Christmas. And then because I didn't want him, I don't know why I bought him. He says, here. And Gacy's, it was sort of weird what he said, but I used to collect autographs, Adam. I used to be like the Beverly Hillbillies, like stuff from the 60s, old series on TV, like that kind of stuff I used to collect. Like, and they had those 2 things, Gacy. I don't know why I bought it, but I got rid of it. That's bad vibe. It's not good karma. It's evil. I had a picture of Sam. Sam had a picture of clown was at his house. My mother got it. It was a painting that was in his house, a little square. And I got that. It's a little, but it's not signed by him or not like that. Or it was just what's in his house at the time. A little clown picture.
So that's creepy. That's creepy.
Yeah.
I worked with Spec Psychiatrist. He made a bunch of money off the book he wrote. Later lost his license due to prescribing narcotics.
Yes.
What about that video, Spec? You remember they showed it? They got in trouble. Remember he was,
Bill Kirk.
yeah, he was doing cocaine. Yeah, remember he had boobs coming out. Remember he's in his cell and he's talking about with his lover there, and he had doing cocaine and he looked like he was a transvestite. He was going into a woman.
He was.
Yeah. That's just crazy. Hey, T says there's no red there behind that house.
No.
Red.
There's no alley there.
Yeah, no alley.
There used to be. Oh, excuse me. No, the house was on the right-hand side. Instead of there was a driveway along the right-hand side originally, and you went back to the garage in the back, around that way.
Looks like they knocked all those homes down. They look like they're up in the new subdivision, right? They knocked them down, the homes there. Seems like that area that you just showed me where he lived. Looks like that. They redid that area.
Those homes are not substantial homes. Like he had a crawl space. It wasn't really a very substantial home.
Yeah. Man, I saw the movie. I watched the movie. It was freaky. How about those maggots chattering? In the baby, right? They said that the mother lived there. They were chattering like, look, there were so many of them.
People said they weren't witnesses.
Yeah, stop. That's true. Yeah. And the police were in that house the first search warrant and didn't find. And he invited them in, and that's when one of them went to use the bathroom and got the heat. They smelled it. Went, and the smell of death. Man, you don't forget that. That shit sticks in your little dust mites get in your nose.
Yeah.
You don't remember? I mean, it's because humans need to know this is bad. There could be disease around here. I should be away from this.
Any kind of death. If you smell a dead animal, it's almost the same as smelling a dead human.
Yeah. What about that chattering noise? It sounded like it was like chattering, like a
movie. That's in a movie, Joe. Was it in real life?
I don't know, but it's affected me. But watching that movie, they made the chattering loud. I never recovered. See how things can trigger you? Red, little things can really get you, just like your bedtime story. The idea of you sitting on the couch telling stories, that made it for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes little things can make you big influence on me. So there you go. You're going to give me nightmares, Joe, talking about maggots. Oh, my God, Scott. Oh, my Lord. That's funny. Listen, it goes to show you how far we come this world. Look at an event in the last 50 years, and on my time. Look at the president's got said. I mean, there's been nuts all the way through, obviously. The 60s, the 70s, we've had nuts. Mental retarded people, whatever you want to call them, right?
The 60s and 70s, that's what you know. That's what you remember.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about my life.
There were nuts going on, probably in the 1800s, 1700s.
No, my lifetime. Even my lifetime, the nuts. Yeah, they've been around forever, for sure. But in my lifetime, but remember, Charlie Kirk wasn't running for office. He wasn't, okay, he was okay. He was just, think about it, Red. He wasn't, okay, Martin Luther King was really obviously out there. You had the JFK president, his brother, running for president. You look at some of these other people are politicians, right? But think about it. This guy really wasn't, he got people pissed off. Why? It was a Trump on his team. I don't know. But for the killing one.
If it wasn't for YouTube, would you know who Charlie Kirk was?
No.
If it wasn't for YouTube, would you know?
No, I wouldn't have known.
You know who JFK was?
No.
If you
JFK?
Yeah, JFK.
Yeah, we'd have known who he was.
Yeah, of course. The president.
Without YouTube, would you know who Donald Trump is?
Yeah.
Because I did before in the 80s. I remember when he was on, he had Apprentice. I mean, but everybody knew who Trump was because of his, the main TV, he had Apprentice. That's what really blew him up. I didn't know he had 14 million views a week. That's big. Do you know what? It's supposed to be 500,000. 500,000 is the breaking point supposedly for a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my brother said, reality show, it's 500,000. Reality show. If it's under 500,000, it's not going to make.
And what did you say is the amount of people you said during a daytime?
So here's a wild statistic. Every day there is, if you were to sit and watch what was uploaded yesterday, and you just watched nonstop 24/7, it would take you 82 years to watch everything that was uploaded yesterday.
Oh my God.
I know, it's a crazy number.
Yeah.
It's like 700,000 hours or something.
So what's the thing, Adam? Here's the point you're trying to make, which makes sense, is back with mainstream TV, you had 2, 5, 7, and 9. And what was on the night before, you could watch everything just about if you had recordings back then, right? Mm-hmm. Now that's over with now, right?
Yeah. Hey, did you see the episode of such and such? Nobody does that anymore.
Right.
Or did you see the one that dropped last night? Nobody does that. It's
right.
Crazy. Hey guys, I want to thank you, Joe, for coming on the show today.
No, I loved it. I appreciate you inviting me. It was very nice of you.
To my show.
Yeah, we're gonna head over to Red's channel. We're gonna sit over there and talk some more. So if you guys want to come on over, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. And guys, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you not next week. And if we do next week, it's going to be about an hour late. So we may start an hour late next week. I have a tour.
Like I said, I'm moving with you, Adam. If I have to, I'll come out there and we'll be roommates and I'll make sure I'm on time. But, I told Red, I love it. I appreciate you guys giving me the time and it means a lot to me. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Red. We'll see you over on your channel.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Yo, Bugsy, it says here they got something called the Vegas Mob Tour.
Yeah, Bobby, ain't you heard? It's all about our old friends Sam Giancana, Meyer Lansky, Mo Dalis, and of course yours truly, Bugsy Siegel.
Are you kidding? A mob tour about us?
Yeah, they take you to where we used to hang out and to all the places where we used to do our crimes.
You mean they expose all our secrets?
Yeah, but it's okay, because we ain't around anymore. So, let's face it, we can't get busted.
Hey, you think we could sneak on board and check this out?
Of course we can. Forget about it. They'll never even know we're there.